Welcome back, class. So last time we learned that if a simple loop is actually present in a uniform magnetic field and it is rotating with an angular velocity omega, then the induced voltage will be actually is equal to maximum value, peak value, omega sine of omega t, right? And also we learned that, so basically if the current is flowing through a wire and it is present inside a uniform magnetic field, then the torque will be induced, right? And the induced torque basically will be equal to the geometrical parameters, okay, magnetic field intensity, okay, times the current times sine of theta, right? So that was the induced voltage, induced torque, okay. So and also we actually got another expression which was basically geometric parameters, the loop magnetic field times the stator magnetic field, okay. So that was for the when the simple loop is actually rotating, okay, inside a magnetic field, okay. And now we are actually going to learn about the rotating magnetic field, okay. So far we have learned about the induced voltage due to the uniform external established field by the stator, right? So there was a stator which was actually generating the stator magnetic field, and we have the loop, okay, and their interaction actually induce the voltage and also the torque, okay, right? So now we are actually moving, okay, towards the rotating magnetic field. So here basically there was the assumption that the external magnetic field was uniform, okay, because like it was north and south and we were getting this external magnetic field, okay, which was due to the stator and it was uniform, okay, this magnetic field was uniform, okay. Now if this magnetic field is not uniform, then what will happen? Then what will be the change in the generated magnetic field, induced voltage, currents? What will be the change? So that is the focus of this part of the topic, okay. So for that, let's have a look. So this is basically a simple stator, okay. So we have a 6 poles here, okay. So for example, this is a simple stator and I have 6 poles here, okay. So this is the first pole, which is actually I'm referred at A dash. This is the second one, okay. B dash is the second pole and C dash is the third pole. Poles means I have like in this stator geometry I have 3 coils, okay, which are actually placed at 120 degree apart from each others, okay. So now and we have a inside we have a rotor and the rotor we are supplying basically the DC and we get the rotor magnetic field here, okay, the loop of the rotor magnetic field, and we also have a stator magnetic field. So now actually what is happening here in the real AC machines, okay, basically this A coils, which is actually represented by this A dash, we supply the 3-phase input supply, okay. So basically at the A, for example, we are supplying this voltage, okay, this red one. At the B we are supplying this yellow one, which is 120 degree apart, out of phase from this, and at C we are supplying this one, which is also again 120 degree, okay. So basically we are supplying 3-phase supply here and each phase is 120 degree out of phase from the last one. So now we are having the changing current, okay, changing input current. So due to the changing input current, so actually the magnetic field which will be generated, okay, that will also be changing, okay. Now and then the magnetic field intensity which will be actually generated, that will also be changing, okay. Now it will not uniform, it will not be uniform magnetic field. So the generated magnetic field due to the stator windings, it will not be uniform. Okay, so basically here, for example, due to the coil A, we will have this magnetic field. Due to the coil B, we will have this one. Okay, and due to the coil C, we will have this one. And these magnetic fields or magnetic field intensities or densities, they are basically 120 degree phased apart, like they are out of phase. Okay, they have 120 degree phase difference. Okay, because their input supplies have 120 degree phase difference. Okay, so basically now the stator magnetic field is actually not uniform. Okay, now what will be the effect of this? Okay, now we also have the rotor. Okay, the rotor also have magnetic field. So we have a magnetic field which is coming from the rotor circuit. Okay, or we call this loop. We have a changing magnetic field which is coming from the stator. Okay, and we know that the interaction of these two will actually induce the torque in the machine. Okay, so the interaction of these two will induce the torque. How it now what will be the interaction? What will be the operation of this? Okay, now let's have a look at that. Let's assume that the input supply for this coil A, okay, is this. Okay, this is the supply for the coil A. Okay, just I am supplying the input supply of Im sine of omega t. The supply to the coil B, okay, the second pole is same magnitude but phase difference of 120 degree. Okay, then C, same magnitude is fixed. Okay, same magnitude but have a phase difference of 120 degree from the last one. Okay, minus 120 or plus 120. Okay, or we can say that minus 120 or minus, okay, if you add like minus 240. Okay, so that will be minus 240 or 120 plus 120 degree is same. Okay, so basically a set of three currents are applied to the three coils of the stator. Now because of these input currents, we will get three magnetic fields, right? So because of this, I will get Hm sine of omega t, okay, with angle of 0 degree. Because of this, I will get a magnetic field with, okay, angle of 120 degree. Because of this, I will get another magnetic field with an angle of 240 degree, okay, or plus 120 degree. Okay, they are same things. So there is one very important thing here. Okay, basically this is the phase difference. Okay, this is the phase shift here, the input phase shift. Okay, in the input waveform we have the phase shift. Then we know that basically these three coils are actually placed at 120 degree apart from each others. Okay, so we will also have a special, okay, phase shift here. Okay, that will be the position phase shift. So in the magnetic field which is actually being generated, we will have the two phase shifters. One is basically due to the waveform phase shift, okay, this input waveform phase shift. The other one is due to the position or the spatial phase shift. Or from this magnetic field, if we write produce the magnetic flux density, okay, which is B, just mu times H. Okay, so we will get the magnetic flux density because of the pole A, pole B and pole C, okay, or coil A, coil B and coil C of the stator. Okay, so these are the, so this will be the magnetic field which is actually being generated inside the stator. Now let's see how these magnetic fields will be interacting. Okay, so for that what we are going to do, we are going to analyze these magnetic fields at the different time intervals. Okay, for example, let's say, so this factor omega t is basically referring to the phase, okay, or the we also refer this as angle or time. So let's say we analyze this at the angle of 0 degree. Okay, omega t is 0 degree. So if omega t is 0 degree, so this will become Pm sine of 0 degree, right? And what is the sine of 0 degree? Sine of 0 degree is 0. Okay, so the magnetic flux density because of the pole AA dash, it will be 0. Okay, similarly if you put omega t is equal to 0 here, because we are analyzing for the position of 0 degree, okay, so it will be sine of 0 minus 120 degree, okay, and angle of 120 degrees. So sine of minus 120 degrees is basically minus radical 3 over 2. Okay, Bm is a constant, angle of 120 degree. Similarly here omega t is 0, so 0 plus 120 degree. Okay, with the angle of 240 or plus 120, so it will be radical plus radical 3 over 2. Okay, so here focus, this is very important, very important thing. So magnet at this instant at 0 degree, the magnetic flux density because of this AA pole, AA dash pole is 0 because of this. Okay, so if you guys remember what we have here, so this was our BAA dash. Okay, in the initial case. Okay, if I come back to this picture, okay, let me show you this picture. Okay, and this is BB dash and this is BCC dash. Okay, right, 120 degree. Okay, let me draw here. Okay, and this is BCC dash and this is BB dash. Okay, magnetic flux density because of these three poles. Okay, now this is 0. Okay, this is basically is equal to minus radical 3 over 2. Okay, so basically this is BB dash, so it is negative, so it will be coming here, right? Minus B dash. Why I put negative? Because of this negative here, right? Dash is just a magnitude factor. Okay, this is just a magnitude factor, and CC dash is what? Plus radical through magnitude factor. Okay, this CC dash, so this is the BCC dash. So I get minus BB dash and I get BCC dash. Okay, this is the negative one because this is the basically actual B dash. Okay, now so these are vectors, right? Two vectors which are actually changing. So if I get the net magnetic field flux density, so this is minus BB dash. So, okay, so the net will be basically summation of this plus this plus this. Okay, summation of these three, that will be my net vector. So this is BCC dash. If I bring this BCC dash here because they are in parallel, okay, so BAA dash is basically is 0 here. Okay, so sum will be BB dash plus BC dash, so that vector which actually will be my net sum magnetic flux density. Okay, the summation of this minus BB dash plus BCC dash. Okay, so if we just add them and just use the calculator, so the net magnetic field will be basically 1.5 bm, that is the magnitude, and angle is what? Minus 90 degree. So if you look here, so this is like the 0 degree, this is 90 degree, and if you just look, this is your net magnetic field which is basically at minus 90 degree. Okay, so that is the phase which we are actually getting here, right? So this is the net magnetic field which is produced at 0 instance, okay, with the angle of 0 instance. And now if we calculate for the angle of 90 degree, so again this one will be 0, this one will be minus 1 over 2 of Bm. Okay, so again see here, this was your B dash and this was your original CC dash. Now we are getting minus 1 over 2, so this will be coming here minus 1 over 2, and CC dash is also minus 1 over 2. Okay, so this is plus BCC dash, so this will be minus BCC dash. And if you calculate net, so net means, for example, you are bringing this thing here, okay, and the net vector will be this one, okay, B net. Okay, so now this is basically at the 0 degree instant. So if you just add them, minus 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2, okay, and with their angles, okay, so it will be 1.5 bm with the angle of 0 degree. Okay, so look here, at the instant of 0 degree the net magnetic field is here. At the instant of 90 degree the net magnetic field is here. Similarly, if we move forward, okay, for the 180 degree and 270 degree, okay, so basically what will happen, so this is your if we move forward at 120 degree and 270 degree, so what will happen, At 0 degree, this was your net magnetic field. Okay, at omega t is equal to 90 degree, this was your net magnetic field. At omega t is equal to 180 degree, this is your net magnetic field. At omega t is equal to 270 degree, this will be your net magnetic field, okay, which you can analyze from the angles. So basically what is happening? So this we just calculated for 4 instances: 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree and 270 degree. So if you calculate for the other instances here, so it will be coming like here, like here, like here, like here, like here, like here, okay, like here. So what is actually happening? Your net magnetic field is basically rotating with an angular velocity of omega in the clockwise direction, in the clockwise direction. And if you notice, its magnitude, okay, its magnitude is same, constant. Magnitude remains constant, but its phase is changing, okay, with the different instances. So this is basically the rotating magnetic field inside the AC machines. Okay, so if you look at this animation, this is basically representing this. Okay, at the different instances, the net magnetic field is finally we are getting a rotating magnetic field inside the stator. Okay, so we will see the more details about this. Okay, the equation and its more applications. Okay, in the live lecture. Thank you very much for your time.